Why do you think it's such an issue in this country about like kind of avoiding that topic with children?
I think for the most part it stems from the strength of religion in this country. Christianity is a very strong force in this country, and not all branches of Christianity condemn homosexuality. And even then, sometimes you have to go church by church. There are certainly churches that embrace homosexual membership in their community, but a lot of churches also condemn it. And a lot of people will go by whatever their church says, and since maybe it's something they haven't knowingly seen or had, they haven't knowingly had contact with homosexual, this is something different and alien, and most people naturally fear what they don't know. And then if you have a book and a person who represents power in some way, who is at least supposed to be more learned, such as a reverend, a preacher, a priest, who addresses the group. This person is a leader in the community, and they're saying this is bad, this is evil, this is of the devil. If you believe in all that stuff, then this actually becomes a threat to you, I think.
Now, we have an election coming up. Regarding like all the issues that we discussed, what candidate do you think would be best for furthering the cause for equal rights for homosexuals?
Barack Obama, without a doubt.
Yeah. Why him and maybe not McCain?
Well, while I think Obama could stand to do a bit better, the biggest thing he stated on that is that regardless of what he may have been told through his religion, that should not have a bearing on how the law treats homosexuality.
What's his stance on homosexual unions? Is he for homosexual marriage? Is he for unions? I mean, what's his stance?
He's been a little bit ambiguous from most of what I know. But from what I understand, he is in favor of civil unions, and I think he will probably. I'm sure he will not oppose true gay marriage. I think there's a good chance that he really will come out in support of it.
And what about McCain? I mean, what's his stance? Do you know?
I haven't really heard a whole lot on it, but he does not support gay marriage. I mean, there are so many things where I disagree with McCain. I haven't really paid a whole lot of attention to his reasons, but it's also his background. If you look at the history of the Republican Party, he's just not going to come off in support of gay rights. His most likely voter base, I think he would run the risk of losing some votes, although I'm not sure who they would vote for instead at this point. Because even if he was in support of gay marriage, the way he stands on so many other issues, there's not a more conservative candidate for people to choose instead.
And like, what about Sarah Palin? I mean, she's against homosexual marriage, I believe?
As far as I know. And again, I haven't really looked up much in depth about her, but from what I know, she is much more religiously influenced than McCain, and tends to follow a fairly fundamentalist interpretation of the Bible. And one of the things that goes along with that is not only opposition to gay marriage, but just general condemnation of homosexuality.
She is condemning the being a homosexual and the act. She thinks that's wrong.
I don't know for sure that that's her position, but that would be my assumption.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned before that like the history of the Republican Party, like you think there's a correlation between like conservatism and not supporting homosexuals or homosexuality.
Yeah, I think there is a definite correlation there. I mean, part of it has to do with the way, particularly within the past 20 plus years, it's getting close to 30 years, the Republican Party has allied itself with the religious right, which generally condemns homosexuality. And I mean, conservatism, when you're talking about politics, generally, you know, they're going to maintain the status quo. I know.
So now they're maintaining the status quo, but how do you think is the best way to go about educating people or to change their minds about homosexuality? How do you alleviate these like fears and hatreds people have of homosexuals?
I think, I think education is the big way to go about it, and in schools, there needs to be representation of homosexuals, and not just beyond a token paragraph in an 11th grade U.S. history textbook that says, oh, by the way, in the late 60s there was this Stonewall riot thing, and that was the beginning of the gay rights movement, and there are some changes happening today. It's too little too late.
Yeah. So you think like better leadership, not only like for our country, but like at the school level is important in terms of getting proper education to the students.
Yeah, definitely. And you can't depend on parents to do and know everything and to be experts. And to be honest, sometimes you can't depend on them to be right either.
Yeah.
I understand and respect that parents have a role in raising their children, but at the same time, there are instances of families that have incestuous relationships, but our government steps in and says, no, this isn't right.
Do you think there needs to be something on the legal level for stopping discrimination or against homosexuals? Do you think that there should be any laws? And if so, what do you think the law should be?
Yeah. Homosexuality needs to be included in hate crimes legislation. In the state of New Jersey, it is, but it's not national. There are a number of states where homosexuality is not part of hate crimes laws. And the fact that it's not in there sends a message that basically it's okay to hate. And it's simply not.
It's not. Yeah. Well, we covered a lot of topics. Mystery hat, telling it like it is.
That's right.
Can we see your cat?
Yep.
Let's see your cat here.
My
mystery cat.
Yes. Mystery hat and mystery cat. He is 8 years old. I have had him since he was a kitten, and he is not gay. I have made no attempt to make him gay, and it is not rubbed off through osmosis. Now, granted, he is fixed, so he really seems to have no sex drive whatsoever. But I've also actually seen fixed cats engage in at least an attempt of homosexual sex.
So there are other animals that engage in homosexuality, so it's not just humans.
Not just humans.